So is there a level of fatigue that you get from doing this? Just from, I don't know, maybe it's just emotional, maybe it's also just the amount of work you're doing in a day. Is any fatigue come in?
I don't necessarily feel fatigue. For me, it's almost like an adrenaline. And then by the end of the day, when you get home and it all sinks in, it's exhausting and all you want to do is go to bed.
And can you explain how you're connected to the vaccination effort at Stanislaus State?
So I'm connected to the vaccination effort by way of they were looking for volunteers from the nursing program. They were looking for students to come volunteer to help give out the vaccinations and do, you know, different things. Like there were some students that were doing the intake and making sure that everybody had their paperwork all filled out correctly, so that if there's any issues that the client shouldn't be getting a vaccine, we would know about those right up front. And then there was another group of students that were doing other things. So like after your vaccination is given, we want you to wait for approximately 15 to 30 minutes, depending on your situation, to make sure that there's no reactions. So I took part in all three different areas of the vaccination clinic, but I spent most of my time doing the actual vaccinating of the individuals. And we were vaccinating mostly individuals 65 and above. And we also had a few healthcare workers that we took care of.
All right, so kind of in a nutshell, you're among the group of students who are helping out with the vaccination efforts at Stanislaus State.
Yes.
You wear many hats during that phase.
Yes,
my understanding, right?
Very much. Yeah, we basically go where they need us.
And when you say you go where they need you, are you primarily focused at Stan State, or do you help out at the Modesto Clinic as well?
Primarily, I and the other nursing students are specifically at the Stan State location.
Right. And to learn a little bit more about you as well, nursing is such an interesting profession. It's a calling for many people. How exactly did you find yourself going into this kind of program and looking for this profession?
So I have a little bit different background than most of the students at Stan State. I'm a little bit older. I've already had a career. I spent 8 years in the Army. I spent time with the federal government, with the state government, doing different work. And after I had my daughter, I decided it was time to go back to what my original plan had been when I graduated high school, which was to go into the medical field. I wanted to be a doctor, kind of a little late in the game for me to go to college and then go to medical school with a 4-year-old. So I decided to go into the nursing field. So I did all my prerequisites to get into any program that I could get into, and ended up here at Stanislaus State. So it took me 20 years to follow my passion, but I am glad that I'm here.
And a layer below that, for you, is it kind of is it one of those calling professions? Is it just for a career-wise? Do you like the money, or is it, or is there something that really kind of pushed you into this field?
It's a little bit of all of it combined. Mostly it's the passion behind the helping people out. I've obviously always had a thing for different areas of public service, just based on my background, but I always wanted to have an association with the medical field. And this was the way in which I was going to be best suited to do that.
So take me back to that moment where Mary Jo or whoever it was that brought this up to you said, "Hey, would you like to help vaccinate thousands of people at the university campus?" I don't know if that was the question that they laid out for you, but what was your reaction?
So we got an email to come in on the Monday to do the dry run. And I was really, really disappointed because I actually wasn't going to be able to come in to do that on Monday. But the but they said, don't worry about it because there will be additional efforts to do that. And then 2 days later, I got the email saying that they were requesting volunteers to come in for the opening clinic day. And I was just like, I am on that. I have to do that. It's something that I want to do and something that I felt like I had to do. And for personal reasons, for community reasons, there was it was almost like I was disappointed that I wasn't going to be able to. And then I got really excited by the fact that they reopened it and said, yes, we're bringing people in and it's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, I remember that the Moderna pause when that had happened kind of
Yes.
derailed everything.
Yes.
But the let's go into that day one situation. The lines at these clinics were no joke. At the least with the Modesto clinic, I never got a good shot of the Stan State one. But you know, on day one, what was your vibe seeing that many people, that much demand, and knowing that you know you guys have something very precious on hand?
Oh man, I got there to help open up and set everything up I got there at 7 o'clock. And there had been a line started at 4 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, people had chairs. It was freezing. It was so cold that day. And they all knew that the vaccination clinic was not going to open till 8 o'clock. And they didn't care. They were bundled and they were ready with their chairs to sit there and wait. And I was in awe of the amount of people that had already gotten there by 7 o'clock. And we ran out of vaccines at, I think, but we started cutting off the line at 1:30 and we had 1,000 vaccines to distribute. So it was, and people were still waiting in line. When we left at 3:30, they knew that they probably weren't going to get a vaccine, but they were waiting there just in case. So to see the desire in so many people to get that vaccine, it's important that we are there to continue giving this to them.
And so when you're given your vaccinations, did anything stick out to you? I mean, one of the things that I remember hearing from Mary Jo, at least, was that, you know, there were people who were really just kind of pouring their heart out because it was the first time they'd been out in months. I
had a few that really, really stuck out. And there was one, she was terrified to get this vaccine. And it wasn't the vaccine itself. I think it was just getting coming in and getting a new vaccine. She hasn't gotten a vaccine since she was a child, other than like the flu shot and stuff like that. But she had not left the house since February of last year. She was a caregiver for a person who had a immune issue. So if that person got sick, then it wouldn't have been a very good thing. And so in order to prevent that, she had not left the house. They even brought in groceries from outside. They had them delivered. So this vaccine clinic was the first time that she had left the house in 10 months. And when she got that vaccine, she broke down crying because she knew it was the beginning of the end. Sorry, I'm just like, it was heartwarming to see that we were providing that to especially her, because it was hope for her that she hasn't had it in 10 months.
I completely get it. I get it. And I can't, it's such an overwhelming feeling, I would imagine. But, you know, like I've told so many people, we've asked these populations, 65 plus, stay home, please stay home, for almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year. They haven't seen their grandchildren. There are people who had to say goodbye to their loved ones behind a pane of glass. And now does it resonate with you, the magnitude of what you're giving these people?
I am giving them hope and freedom and a chance to come back into the community and live the lives that they want to live and see their families and see their friends. And that is, it's an overwhelming feeling for me to be able to be a part of that.
And you've been a part of it probably multiple times at this point. The facility's been up and running for a while. How many people do you think you've vaccinated so far?
Personally, I've probably only, I say only, it's still a lot, but I've probably vaccinated about 150. I have another clinic that I'm expecting to go to next week to continue on with that. But when I have the opportunity, I am going to be there because it's important and it's gratifying and it's needed. And we have all the nurses that are out there in the hospitals doing their jobs, but we don't have enough people out there to give the vaccines that are qualified. And if I can be a part of that to help that, I am honored to do that.
So is there a level of fatigue that you get from doing this? Just from, I don't know, maybe it's just emotional, maybe it's also just the amount of work you're doing in a day? Is any fatigue coming in?
I don't necessarily feel fatigue. For me, it's almost like an adrenaline. And then by the end of the day, when you get home and it all sinks in, it's exhausting and all you want to do is go to bed. But while I'm there at the clinic doing this, I'm just running off adrenaline because I am pumped to be able to be a part of it.